welcome to the third episode of Dust 514 101. In this episode, you will learn about all the different types of weapon that is in Dust 514, and their subcategories. In Dust 514, you are spoiled for choice for all the different weapons that you can use. So here is a list of all the different types of weapon and how to use them. The weapons are separated into three groups: light, heavy, and sidearm. Heavy weapons can only be used by heavy suits. The assault rifle is considered to be the most basic weapon in all of Dust 514. It is also the most popular. It comes in breach, tactical, and burst for configurations, in addition to the standard. The burst assault rifle fires 6 shots in quick succession. It also has a camera sight mounted on the top, instead of the usual iron sights.
Mission timer at 20.
The breach assault rifle fires slow but very hard-hitting shots. It also has a much smaller magazine. The tactical assault rifle is a single-shot assault rifle that does massive damage and has a camera sight mounted on the top. It also has a very, very small magazine. This is Dust 514's version of the sniper rifle. Unlike most FPSs, the sniper rifle's bullet does not drop, and it is instant. It is quite simply point and shoot. In order to steady the weapon, press triangle to crouch. Then line up your shot and take your hit. The standard sniper rifle has 5 rounds and has a moderate rate of fire. The assault variant of the sniper rifle has a much faster rate of fire, but lower damage and a smaller clip. The charge sniper rifle has a much higher damage output than any other sniper rifle. However, in order to fire, you will need to press and hold the fire button to charge the shot, then release the fire button to fire.
Warning. Objective C. Non-cannon targeting MCC.
The Swarm Launcher is a lock-on anti-vehicle rocket launcher that fires groups of rockets at the locked target. To use the Swarm Launcher, hold the fire button to bring up the targeting rectangle. Train the rectangle on the target to lock on, then release the fire button to launch the rockets.
MCC shield damage.
The assault variant of the swarm launcher can lock on to 2 targets at once. It is supposed to, when releasing the fire button, to launch 2 sets of salvos at each target. However, it is currently bugged, so it only shoots at 1 target. The laser rifle is a constant fire weapon that does more damage the longer that you are trained on the target. It also does more damage when the heat is higher, indicated around the ammo indicator. However, if you overheat the laser rifle, it does damage to the user, potentially killing them. The shotgun is a very powerful weapon that can deal massive amount of damage to enemies that are very, very close. If you are close enough, you can kill any enemy that is not a heavy in pretty much one shot. The breech shotgun can only hold 2 rounds. However, the damage their output can easily kill a heavy at point-blank range. It also takes a very long time to reload. The mass driver is a grenade launcher that can do massive amounts of damage on a wide area. If you can get a direct hit on your enemy, it can pretty much be a one-hit shot to anything that is not a heavy. The assault mass driver boasts a much higher rate of fire and larger clip size. However, the damage output is much lower than that of the standard mass driver. The breech mass driver has much lower rate of fire and AoE damage. However, the direct damage can kill a heavy in 2 shots. The heavy machine gun is a very powerful weapon that can only be used by heavy armor. Holding down the fire button will cause the spread to become a lot tighter. However, also doing that will build up heat. If you overheat your weapon, the weapon will become inoperable for 10 seconds. In most situations, that pretty much means you're dead. The burst HMG lets out a large stream of fire very, very quickly every time the trigger is pressed. If you can get a full stream of hits on the target on anything other than heavy, it can pretty much kill it. The main problem with this weapon is that it builds up heat very, very quickly, so it is not good in extended fights. The Assault HMG, while being a lot less damaging than its sisters, is a lot more accurate. As the fire button is pressed, the target axis becomes a lot tighter, meaning it is a much better weapon for enemies that are further away, as the spread is a lot tighter. The Forge Gun is a powerful, charged anti-vehicle weapon that can only be used by heavy armor. Press and hold the fire button to build up the charge, then release the button to release it. You can also use the Forge Gun against infantry, however it is very difficult to do so as the splash is very tight. The Assault Forge Gun deals a lot more damage than the standard Forge Gun. The main difference is that unlike the standard Forge Gun, it cannot hold a charge, which means it is great for fast attacks on large enemies. The Breach Forge Gun is the most powerful of all the Forge Guns. However, unlike the others, you cannot move while charging. You can jump, however. One tactic is to jump behind cover, charge the shot, and when you're ready, jump out and release the shot. Nova Knives are a melee weapon that needs to be charged. While charging, you cannot run, so you need to be careful and to be not seen. In previous builds of the beta, Nova Knives were built into the suit. This was later replaced by the melee hit. The Scrambler rifle, sidearm, can do massive damage to headshots, which is why it gets its name. It scrambles brains. The Breach Scrambler pistol is a low rate of fire weapon with massive damage. It also has a much smaller magazine than its cousins. The Burst Scrambler rifle fires 3 shots in rapid succession. In exchange, it takes longer to reload, and the damage is less. The Assault Scrambler pistol is a very fast, light damage dealing sidearm. It is perfect in a very tight situation for doing small amounts of damage very quickly. It also has a very fast reload time. The submachine gun sidearm is a powerful little sidearm that can mow down enemies that get too close. However, the longer that you hold down the trigger, the less accurate the shot will be, so it is advised that you do small, controlled bursts of fire. The assault submachine gun boasts a longer range and a bigger clip in exchange for slightly less damage. The breech submachine gun has a lot lower rate of fire than its cousins. However, unlike the assault and the standard submachine gun, holding onto the fire button does not lower its accuracy. This is it for this episode. In the next episode, we will be looking at fitting system. There are also a lot more other weapons. There are many more weapons in DAS 514 that we did not mention here, such as the specialist shotgun and the specialist swarm launcher, which is pretty much identical to the ones we have already. The difference is it has slightly less PG and CPE requirements. There is also a weapons called officer weapons, which are rare battlefield salvage that are much more powerful than anything that we currently have in DAS 514.